All right,
All
man.
right. All right.
This is the Domestic
All right, man.
Draft Podcast. I'm Evan Bierman here with Dan Slug. What's going on, dude?
How's it going, man? Long time no see.
I know it's been like 24 hours now since I've seen you. It was good to see you this weekend. Thanks for coming in for
Mhm.
the draft.
Had a ton of fun. Glad being back in Chicago and Chicagoland. A lot of fun. Good to see everybody, friends, family. Had a lot of good times. Went super fast.
Yeah,
Was filled with activity, but yeah, it was good to stop home for the weekend.
played a lot of golf. That was nice. I hadn't gotten out in a long time, so I was appreciate you coming out and pushing me to do that. That was fun.
Yeah, got a couple holes in.
Yeah. So what are you drinking?
I have a hazy IPA from a brewery out here called Original 40, and it's the title of the beer is Juice Maze. It's very good. I really like this a lot. I've kind of been back into IPAs as of late, and this one tastes like there's some juice brewed into it or some fruit, but I don't think there is. It's hazy IPA. It's got some Citra Mosaic hops. Just really good, really easy. It's like I said, Original 40. It's kind of a newer brewery. It's out over in my first neighborhood here, kind of in North Park, out on University. And it's two business owners that had a bar out there or still have a bar out there for a long time, 10 plus years. And then they decided to get into the brewery business, open this up, named after the original 40 acres of land that was purchased in 1893. That became the neighborhood that is now North Park. So that's the name, that's the beer, and that's where it's at. Pretty good. What about you?
Gotcha. A little history. So I have, it's called City Water. It's been around for a couple of years now in Chicago. It's City Water Hard Seltzer. It's done by Solemn Oath, which, when you were out here, we went to the Solemn Oath's new tap room in Logan Square. Solemn Oath Brewery's out of Naperville, but they recently opened that tap room in Logan Square about a few months back, 6 months ago or something like that. This is a mixed berry. It's 5%. It's very light, gluten-free, 110 calories, no sugar, something like that, where you can drink a lot of them. It's a very strong berry aroma, right? Cracking it, you can smell it like immediately. So if you like mixed berry, it's a very strong aroma. Not necessarily my cup of tea. I wouldn't, pick up this every weekend or anything like that. But, if you're looking for a seltzer, it's not bad.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention the beer I'm drinking. It's 7%, and on Untapped, it went for a 3.9 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, this one here is a 3.29 on Untapped. I think there's just been so many hard seltzers out lately. That's kind of a low score. I'd definitely give it higher than that. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many options now when you look at the hard seltzer field. I mean, this they put out 2 years ago, I think. And at that point, I'm sure it was kind of top of the game. But I think with everything that's been released lately,
Yeah, it's been flooded. It's been flooded.
definitely
So,
flooded.
so let's do our favorite new segment, man. What's trending on your Twitter? What are you seeing on there? How's crypto and all the NFTs going?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's very much all over my Twitter. The big thing right now is that Bitcoin tumbled nearly 10% this morning. El Salvador adopted it as its legal tender.
Yep.
And you'd think, oh, wow, that's just big news for Bitcoin. You think it'd skyrocket, but I think everybody just selling the news, and it dipped down 10%. I expect it to rebound for sure within the next, over the next couple of weeks here. And that's what a lot of people on Twitter are saying is, stop freaking out. If you have Bitcoin or really any cryptocurrency, like don't worry about, this tumble. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously cryptocurrency is more risky than other investments. So, if you got it, I would hold on to it for sure. I wouldn't be selling by any means. I mean, this is honestly, it's good news. A country's adopting it as its legal tender. I mean, it's not bad news.
Right.
And then NFTs, of course, all over my Twitter still, and when Bitcoin tumbles, other cryptocurrency tumbles, Ethereum tumbles, and people start to want to get out of, some of these riskier investments like NFTs. So it's the same kind of thing, hold on to it if you got it. It's going to rebound. And it really, over the last couple of days, it was kind of a bear market, and now it's back up a little bit, and I think it's going to keep going back up. But I had an interesting question here because there was a poll that I saw. a study done actually about what percentage of people do you think own or have owned an NFT
In the United States?
in the United States? Yeah.
Percentage of people that have or have owned an NFT, I would say probably between 10 and 20%, 15.
That's a pretty good guess, actually, 18%, which I thought was high. I think, that's what, 50 million people, something like that. I mean, that's a lot of people that are buying into this and are owning these things. And I mean, you and I both own Top Shot and like other, small time NFTs, I would say. Nothing like, some of these bigger ones like the CryptoPunks and stuff like that. But I just thought that was kind of nuts that, almost, 1 in 5 people owning one of those. I wouldn't have thought. But
I think it's going to keep going up.
You think so?
Yeah, I saw Steph Curry post yesterday. He's like new to this NFT game, and his profile picture is now one of those like art pieces, like monkeys. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, those are called Bored Apes. They're Bored Ape Yacht Club. Des Bryant has one as well. It's like his profile picture, and he's really big into that. But that's a big one. Lazy Lions Bored Ape Yacht Club. Search them up, take a look at them. They're actually honestly pretty cool. It's, a lot of these projects are like 10,000 out of 10,000, and they're all randomly generated with different properties, and they all have different, like different kind of hats or chains or whatever it may be. So they're all randomly generated, and, the stuff with the more rare traits goes for more money. So that's, if you're into that, that's what I'd look for, something with rare traits. But interesting that Curry got into it for sure. And that's what's been going on my Twitter. What do you got going on yours?
Yeah. And there was an interesting episode I saw, Rival podcast, mind you. I mean, I think their numbers are right up with ours. It's Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert. He had Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis on, and Ashton's a huge crypto guy. He's like really, really into it. And Dax had them on, and they pretty much like, the textbook for dummies version of cryptocurrency was pretty much like the interview. It was really interesting. So if you're somebody who's like interested in getting into it or just wants to hear a little bit more about it in more like layman's terms, I would go look at that episode. Again, Rival podcast, but
no free ads.
I think it could be a good listen to. So if you're listening, Dax, go ahead and give us some publicity there. But what's on my Twitter is the Bulls. They signed and filled out their roster. So they signed Stanley Johnson, Stanimal, a former top pick of the Detroit Pistons, who really doesn't score the basketball, but plays solid defense. He's super athletic. He's like 6'7", 7-foot wingspan. And then another guy from Brooklyn. I've never heard of this guy, but I should have because he's from the Missouri Valley Hoops. Illinois State's in there. Elise Johnson. And he might be one of your favorite players on the Bulls because all he really does is get rebounds, block shot, and run the court. Like,
there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
He's your kind of player. Yeah, he is your kind of player.
Even this year, potentially there.
Yeah, we've been asking for that kind of player, right? Just like a mean guy, get dirty, rebound. His Twitter, when he was coming to Chicago, like the news, he posted a GIF of Dennis Rodman. So it goes to show you kind of like who he emulates his game after and kind of the attitude he's bringing to the Bulls. So that was cool. Other things on my Twitter, Donda, Kanye's new album has been released. I've been listening to it for a couple of days now. A lot of chatter talk about that. I like it. We listened to it together over the weekend.
Yeah, we listened to it quite a bit over the weekend. Yeah, it's there's some good ones on there, and some of them get better the more you listen. There are quite a few songs on there. So
yeah, like 27 tracks.
Yeah, but
I agree with
it's good.
Yeah, and our buddy Blake, Some Words. I think he was saying like it's pretty much like he views it as the first half is one album, the second half is like B-sides kind of deal, and I think that's true. Also, Drake's album cover was trending. It was basically a bunch of emojis, the same emoji over and over again in different colors.
Yeah, it was like a pregnant woman emoji, right?
Pregnant woman, yeah, because his album's like Lover Boy or something like that. I haven't listened to it yet. But I saw a bunch of NFL Twitter getting after it and was just like tweeting like Phillip Rivers' wife every year.
Oh man.
And then the last thing, bringing it home, pouring one out. No spoilers, please, because I haven't finished it. But Michael K. Williams passed away. The actor who portrays Omar in The Wire, and I forget the last name, but I know Chalky something from Boardwalk Empire, like two like iconic roles. So that's been going on my Twitter. Sad ending, but if you haven't watched The Wire,
Super young too. That was disappointing.
Yeah. Just be safe out there. Be careful.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
So a little bad news. We'll move over to some good news. What
Let's
about
do
the
it.
Cubs? They're on a hot streak now, man. Going for 8 straight tonight.
Freaking tease, man. It's a
Yeah.
tease.
They took 2 from the Twins, swept the Pirates 4 games,
It's a
beat the Reds on
trap.
Monday night. And a couple games ago, 3 grand slams. What do you mean trap? 3 grand slams, man. Schwindel tearing the cover off the ball. NL Player of the Week. They're down 2-1 right now, but can't count them out. This team scrappy. That's the kind of baseball that you like. You were talking about at the beginning of the year, man.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was 3 grand slams. I think it was 2 Cubs grand slams, 1 for the Pirates or Reds, whoever they're playing that game. But it was like the first time ever there's 3 go ahead grand
3 in a
slams.
night. Yeah. Yep.
So
they've been killing it.
Killing it.
Oh yeah, 8 in a row.
Beating up on the Pirates and the Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Twins. Hey, that's good for this team, man.
Yeah, it's good for this team. They got no pressure, so it's like, I mean, I was very
Ross out because he tested positive.
Yeah, I'm very against
talking backup coach.
I'm against the Cubs fans like rallying. I mean, whatever, be a fan. But I don't believe that these are long-term solutions or long-term players in the franchise, and they will be gone in another year or half. We'll probably flip them like we did a la Brian LaHare, and other players like that we signed and flipped for prospects like in the beginning years of Theo.
Yeah.
So I think that's the route. But again, I think it's a tease. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. It's fun now for this run, but I mean, really, it's a team that has nothing to lose. They're playing like they have nothing to lose. And when you have no pressure, it's much easier to succeed in that kind of level of play, I would assume. I've never been there, but I would assume.
All those things you're saying, though, make it more fun. They have nothing to lose. They're a bunch of nobodies. No offense to, Schwindel and Wisdom and the other guys, but they got no pressure on them, and that's what's making it fun. It's like the Cleveland Indians in Major League. Nobody expects them to do anything.
Let me ask you this:
they win. It's awesome.
Are you watching the games?
I've caught some innings. I haven't watched full games. No, I haven't watched full games since we made the trade.
Yeah,
I've been catching some innings here and there, but that's about it. But if I'm at the bar and it's on, I'm not complaining. They're playing well.
True.
And, what can you do? I mean, that's best case scenario is that all these guys play well and we're able to flip them for something.
Yeah.
Some of those guys that didn't play well, I was amazed we were able to get something for like Jock and, I don't know. It's good to see that they're winning, and it's not giving us hope or anything. Nobody expects them to go to the playoffs. Nobody expects them to win anything, but it's just fun that they're doing well. And Schwindel, NL Player of the Week. That's pretty cool.
Also, Ian Happ's been killing it. You in or out on him coming back next year, being another stud? I know we were dark horse MVP talks at the beginning of this year, and then he was hitting like 190 up to a month ago. Yeah, up to a month ago.
Because he killed it last year, and I think some of the reporters were saying that kind of stuff. But no, I mean, I'd be okay moving on from him. I'm not tied to him by any means.
Yeah.
If we need a depth piece, for sure, but he's not somebody that I think is like a core player. It was the same way I felt about Almora. I love Almora. He was, fun on the Cubs, but he wasn't like somebody that they needed to keep and somebody that they needed to, great defender, but he wasn't like, stud hitter or anything like that. And just seemed like his potential wasn't, what we thought it was when he first came into the league. So same with Hap too. I'm just like, I don't know. And he's still got time to develop for sure, but at this point, he might need to change the scenery.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be upset if he left.
Yeah. And last thing on baseball before we move on, just kind of tie it into the Cubs. Baez was kind of in the news for doing the thumbs down to all the Mets fans because they've been booing that roster. And then there, because of that, a little bit of chatter about the possibility of him returning. Would you be down for him coming back to the north side?
Yeah. And I honestly think it's going to happen because it's almost like the grass is greener thing, where you think that there's better out there. And then you go out there and you're treated like he's honestly been treated like shit in New York. And then, for him to see that in another big market and to think, man, look what I had in Chicago. The fans loved me, good or bad. They weren't booing me, this quickly. He's only been there for like a month and a half. And it's like, Yeah, I mean, I could totally see him coming back. I know it seemed like he loved being here. So I would be down for him to come back. It just
Yeah.
depends, if we have the money to do it and if we can sign other good players too. I don't want to just sign him and then have nothing, no money to build the rest of the team. And just, I don't know. You got to think about what Jed's plan is too, because all
Right.
these guys that they traded for are, at least 3 years away. So are you going to spend the money on Javi, or are you just going to wait for the next couple of years and keep trying to build the farm up? I don't know. What do you think?
No. It would be cool for him to come back, but that's a tricky thing to do. It's like, it's like a breakup, and then I don't know, like coming back. It's ended, it's done with. Had a really good time while you're here, but I mean, you moved on, you declined our offer, and like Jed's still the GM, the guy who was giving you that offer, and you declined it. So I mean, Jed's gonna have the upper hand. If Javi wants to come back, maybe he's having a really terrible time and he wants to come back. So then if that's the case, and maybe he takes the offer that we gave him that he declined. He's like, all right, you know what? I declined that offer. One in New York, hated it. But if that offer still stands, I'll resign for that. I'd be cool with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but not cool with giving him the top dollars, which I think he wants.
Yeah, I think that takes a lot for a person to turn down a contract and then come back and like ask for it again, or even, take less than potentially what you were offered before. I think about like Le'Veon Bell or Melvin Gordon. I mean, I know that's football, but it's still like they turned that deal down and then thought they were going to get better and then they didn't. And then
Yeah.
like, are they kicking themselves and, that they couldn't go back, but
We just talked about a couple episodes. Dennis Schroeder just lost
yeah.
like $78 million betting on himself, turning it down. So yeah, it's tough. So yeah, I mean, that's Cubs. They're, I guess, fun to watch right now. The winning streak's always fun. Schwindel, I see, is like out at the bars after the games. He's at the Cubby Bear and things like
Yeah.
that.
Signing
So
autographs at Murphy's and stuff. So that was pretty sweet.
yeah, it's good to do
Um,
that because no one's there probably. So it's not like he's gonna get berated.
right.
But you're
But
bringing up football, fantasy. We want to move on to that.
yeah, for sure. Football season's upon us, man. I am jacked and juiced. It's week one. First game is
Officially.
Thursday night, Tampa
Mm-hmm.
Bay against Dallas. And we had our, you were in this weekend because we had it's a 10-year anniversary of our fantasy football home league. And we do the live in-person draft, which was awesome. So much fun. And why don't you
Yeah.
just walk us through your experience?
I mean, yeah, first off, if you don't do a league that is in-person drafting, you are missing out on just like a better experience doing fantasy football. I think it is ideal. I think it is something everyone, if you're into fantasy sports, a live in-person draft really just makes that league pretty much on the forefront of your mind. It's more, you put more into it, you care about it. And for us, I mean, we have people that are coming in like me from out of state. I know Bill as well, another person in our league out of state, coming in all together to do this draft. So our draft, we do it in person. I lost last year, so I was more than happy to don a pink T-shirt saying that I suck at fantasy football. There was rumors that I was going to get sprayed by a hose, but that those plans never came to fruition. But pretty much, like I'm up there putting up draft picks because I lost. We're just having a good time. We really kind of just bust each other's chops. Every pick's the wrong pick. Every player is going to have the worst year ever. And it really just like adds to the effect of a fantasy draft. And at sometimes it could mess with your psyche when people are booing that pick. And there's a couple picks that I know you and I had that did not get the hottest reaction, but we're standing by them. We even kind of
Oh yeah, we
started
put some
barking and chirping
yeah.
at each other. We made a
Yeah,
bet out of these
we
picks.
got a pretty significant bet on these two. So we both grabbed some backup running backs. It was later rounds, and I took Sony Michelle, and I immediately heard the boos came
The
out
boo
from pretty much
birds.
the whole league, and I was like, guys, come on, this is a backup running back. They just traded for him. LA just traded for him, and then shortly after that, you took Chuba Hubbard,
Yep.
and same thing. So you were dogging Sony Michelle and I was dogging Chuba Hubbard. So we made a little gentleman's bet on that.
Yep.
Won't say how much money that was for. It was all in good fun.
Yeah.
But
Couple
I mean,
handshakes,
how do you feel about it
sandwiches.
right now? because obviously we were a little bit sauced up when we made this bet.
Yeah,
This was
bartender definitely overserved the party, and I was the bartender, so I'll take full responsibility.
yeah, the party was definitely overserved.
Yeah, but I stand by the bet. I definitely do. Having Christian McCaffrey's backup running back, knowing his kind of history with injuries of late and how beat up he gets, I think there's a great opportunity for Chuba to see a lot of action. And I don't know, you want to make the case for Sony?
Yeah. So first, I want to dog Chuba again because so McCaffrey, when McCaffrey plays, he's on the field 100% of the time. So if he doesn't get hurt, does Chuba Hubbard have any value? It's almost like Tony Pollard in Dallas, though I think Tony Pollard gets a little bit more work than Chuba does. So I don't think Chuba even goes on, he's even going to see the field really. And they just also, Royce Freeman got cut from Denver, and Carolina put in a waiver claim on him so that they can grab him. So now, I mean, it seemed like they had a lot of confidence in Chuba, but they also just claimed another running back off of waivers when there's guys like, I don't know, other running backs out there that they could have got for, without using a waiver claim.
Not buying it.
No,
Not buying
that's
it.
nothing. Okay. So
Chuba's clear number two.
Maybe he's the third running back then. Yeah. But Sony Michelle, this was a former first round running back. He's still only like 26. He doesn't have a lot of mileage on him because he's been in that Patriots, system where they're rotating him with 3 other running backs. So he doesn't have a lot of carries on his back. He's still got some fresh legs, in my opinion.
Fresh legs. He's got degenerative knee syndrome. He's got the Brandon Roy, the Todd Gurley. These guys, as soon as that's diagnosed, like no one bounces back from that, dude. Brandon Roy retired. Todd Gurley's like out of the league. You think this guy's gonna be worth anything?
I think LA, they obviously, to do these trades, they have to do a physical and all that stuff on him. They were the first to get rid of Todd Gurley because of that. Like they knew Gurley's going to be done. His career's done. Let's cut him. And he went to Atlanta, and then he went, and then he was pretty much out of the league after that. So they knew when that time came, right? And so they just traded a 2022 6 and a 2023 4th rounder, which is actually a pretty decent pick. It's actually the round Chuba Hubbard was taken in, the 4th round. So it's like they're giving up 2 draft picks for this guy. I mean, if his knee was that bad, I don't know that they would trade that much for him.
Fair enough.
So I just think, and Darrell Henderson is somebody that like struggles, I think, to stay healthy. I think he's going to be good. He's definitely going to get the majority of the touches, but I think Sony Michelle could be that Malcolm Brown last year where he could get the goal line looks, short yardage stuff. And I think that's enough to potentially give him fantasy value. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. He doesn't even know the playbook yet. I don't think he's going to play much against the Bears this week, but we'll see.
And all it takes is one injury, man.
One injury to
that's
McCaffrey.
Really
I think Chuba's got a big.
That's all I'm banking on. And again, these are both I don't think I'm putting Chuba in my lineup until that happens. And if you're playing Sony Michelle, good luck to your team. But again, these are both like just backup running backs that we drafted, and then
the thing about it
started chirping at each other at the draft and poking. And that's kind of how this all came about.
Now we both did this, and these guys, I would say for both of us, probably end of our bench. Can't drop them. Can't drop now. You just got to hold them because we have all this on the line.
Yeah, but also funny, a little bit about our league as well. The more the draft goes on, the more kind of these gentleman bets, these handshake bets start happening. Evan went ahead and made a spreadsheet, and one column is like, player A, the other column's player B for the whole league to keep track of the bets and like what the bet is, so everyone's aware. And player A was like a diverse group of everyone in the league, and player B was just Evan every single time.
And they were pretty much all.
He's just going making these $5, $10 bets.
So,
yeah.
So
but it makes it a lot of fun, it puts again a little bit more into the league and makes that in-person draft that much special. If you haven't done, like I said in the beginning, if you haven't done an in-person draft, it's more or less a reason to kind of get together with your buddies, talk football, look at a draft board, and just reminisce, have some good times. I mean, I had a ton of fun. My abs were hurting. I was laughing so much. We got it catered by Village Tavern, which is a spot out there in Schaumburg, close to Chicago, kind of where I grew up. Does chicken fingers, potato skins. Had more than I could handle with Village this weekend. I got it twice. Had a lot of food.
But let me just talk about how we pick the order too for our draft, because this is something that we've done every year. And like I said, this is the 10th year. We've probably been doing this for like 7 years now in a row. But what happens is it's 10 guys. So everyone grabs a, piece of paper that has the name of Super Smash Brothers. If you know Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64, you grab one of the names of one of the characters out of there. So everyone has their player. Then you grab a number, and that number corresponds to what round you're going to play against. We kind of do a double elimination tournament, I would say. And it's nobody playing. It's the computer set on the hardest level playing against each other. And so if your guy wins the whole tournament, then you get first pick, second pick. So it's really fun to kind of grab a beer, sit there, and you're watching the computer play on the hardest level. So it's just these insane, matches of Super Smash Brothers, and you're just rooting for, Jigglypuff or whoever the heck your person is.
Yeah. I don't think any person. I had Jigglypuff last year. I think I got it's a 10-team league. I think I got 8th pick or 9th pick. You don't want Jiggly. I had Mario this year, gave me a top 3 pick, number 3 overall. Who did you have this year?
I had Star Fox, I believe. Yeah. Or Yoshi. No, it was Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yep. And Yoshi got me the 6. So pretty mediocre. And I ended up taking Travis Kelce, who I'm pretty happy about. Yep. How do you feel about your roster overall, though?
Yeah, let's go over it. You're sharing the draft grades, and obviously I got the lowest draft grade. I'll tell you why I got the lowest draft grade. So we do IDPs, no team defense. You get a defensive back, defensive line, linebacker. I chose not to draft any of those positions, and then to wait until kind of the first week to make some moves, to drop some talent, see how the injuries play out, things like that. So I like my roster. It's a keeper league. I was able to keep Kyler Murray, I believe, in the 11th, and I was able to keep Darrell Henderson in the last round of our draft. So with the 3rd pick, I took Henry. So my starters right now that I got in there, I got Kyle Murray at my quarterback. I got DK Metcalf as my first wide receiver, Adam Thielen as my second. Then I got Henderson as my running back, Derrick Henry as my running back, Tyler Higbee as my tight end, and Josh Jacobs as my flex. I'm stoked on my roster. I think I pat myself on the back. I got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. I got Michael Thomas later in the round as well, draft and stash, Jamar Chase, Odell Beckham, Melvin Gordon, Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Gainwell, Joe Burrow, AJ Green, and Jamison Crowder. So again, I got to drop at least 2 of those before the first game and fill out my defense. But I'm going to wait for the news to come out this week, injuries, any updates, things like that before I make any moves. How do you feel about your team?
I think you have a good team. I like, I think Higbee's a good, upside tight end for sure, because you waited on him until later rounds. I'm just not a big Josh Jacobs fan, but I think overall your squad looks pretty solid. As far as mine, I like how mine turned out. I had the 6th pick, and I was not expecting to take a tight end at that spot. And you were there. You were the one, kind of timing me when I was up. I was really caught between. Yeah, I was caught between Devontae Adams, Saquon Barkley, and Travis Kelce, because it's a keeper league. So that's kind of who was left there. So do I go running back? Do I go tight end? Do I go wide receiver? Ended up going tight end, which I think ended up working out for me because I had Aaron Jones as a keeper. So my team ended up Ryan Tannehill, Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson, Travis Kelce, T. Higgins. And then I got Ayuk, Antonio Brown, Sony Michelle, Matt Stafford, AJ Dillon, and Elijah Moore on the bench. I like how it turned out. I think my wide receivers are really good. No alpha stud, like Hopkins, Hill, Adams, but I think there's a lot of potential there. Cooper Kupp's been a top 5 receiver before. Julio Jones has, obviously been up there as well. And then those 2nd-year wide receivers in Higgins and Ayuk, I think one of them should pan out and take a big leap. And then Antonio Brown, we'll see if he stays on the roster the whole year. But all the reports about him have been great. Everybody's saying that he looks like he did 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, he's 33, so we'll see.
Best shape of his life,
for sure. And Stafford Tannehill stack, I don't mind that at all. It might be tough to determine who I'm going to start every single week. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll take a screenshot of our starters, and we'll do Evans and mine, and we'll let y'all vote whose roster you like more. So take a look on Twitter for us. That's at Domestic Draft on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and send that tweet out for this week's matchup and see who y'all like better. Speaking of matchups, you want to go over this week 1 in the NFL? Football is back, baby. Who do we like in these games?
Yeah. So the first week 1, first game is Thursday, September 9th. It's Cowboys Bucks. And the spread right now, these are Caesar Sportsbook spreads, no free ads. Tampa Bay and Dallas. Tampa Bay -8. Who are you taking here?
Tampa Bay, Dallas. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Also, Dallas's top lineman is out for COVID.
Yeah.
Zach Martin, right? He's out this week. So I am taking Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think Tampa's going to come out fire, and I don't really even mind that -8 spread. I think they're going to kind of blow out the Cowboys here. Next game, Steelers Bills. Buffalo -6.5.
Where's that game at?
It's in Pittsburgh.
I am taking. Let's make it
Or
interesting.
no, I'm sorry.
Already.
It's in Buffalo.
I'll take. It's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'll take Buffalo.
Yeah. I'm going to take Buffalo as well. Jets Panthers is the next game. That's in Carolina. Carolina -5.5.
That's a gross game. Jets Panthers.
I kind of like the Jets. I think they're going to be fun to watch this year. They got a couple of rookies in there. I like Elijah Moore. I like Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson throws a nice ball.
Yeah, I think I'll take Panthers there, though. I think they're a little more steady, a little more experienced.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to take the Jets. I think they're going to come out and surprise people.
All right.
Next game, Jags Texans.
I think
Jags -2.5. It's pretty close.
I think Texans are one of the worst teams in the league this year. Let's go Jaguars. Duval.
Yeah, I got the Jags as well. Next game, Cardinals Titans. This is in Tennessee.
It's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I gotta go. I mean, I got Derrick Henry and I got Kyler Murray. It's a tough one for me to root for. Cardinals, man. Cardinals.
I got Tannehill and Julio. I'm big on Tennessee this year. I actually put some money on them to win Super Bowl because the odds were good. Not because I legitimately think that, but I think they have a chance to do it. I like that big 3 in Brown, Tannehill, or Brown, Julio, and Henry. I'm taking Tennessee here just because I think Arizona's top corners are out and they don't have Patrick Peterson anymore. He's on the Vikings now. Mm-hmm. Next game, Chargers at Washington.
Chargers. I think a lot of people are picking Chargers as one of the top teams in the league this year. Sticking with that. Yeah,
Chargers -1. It's actually a really close line. It's in Washington. I think that's why I would lean Chargers as well. It's Eagles at Falcons. Atlanta is -3 here. So
I think like with Philly. Houston. Yeah, I was gonna say with Houston, I think Atlanta is also one of the worst teams.
Yeah, I don't know about Atlanta's defense. I think they're going to be awful. I'm not huge on Jalen Hurts, but I think they're going to edge out Atlanta here. Seahawks at Colts is the next one. Seahawks -2.5.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. I think I don't mind that spread at all either. Vikings at Bengals. This should be a fun game too.
I am really high on the Bengals this year, and that's at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Cincinnati on that one. I'm high on their offense, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going to take Minnesota, but I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. I think.
Oh,
it's going to be one where you're watching red zone and you just keep seeing a bunch of points flying across. Same with Tennessee and Arizona.
Oh, geez, Minnesota. Hey, go Vikes, huh? Hey, go score, eh? Oh, geez.
49ers at Lions is the next one.
49ers.
Yeah, that one.
Detroit's
not close for me. San Francisco -7.5. I would take that as well. Browns at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
that's a good game. That's going to be interesting. But the Chiefs are just so damn good, man.
If that offensive line is better and they can somewhat hold Myles Garrett, I think Kansas City should.
Dude, they have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, dude. Like the Browns are stacked. That roster's sick. I was hiding them last year. I think everyone was because of Hard Knocks. Was that last year or 2 years ago? And
a couple years ago, yeah.
Put it together. They didn't. But I also think I think the Chiefs are too good. But that's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Man, I'm so excited for football.
Yeah,
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
I know. It's crazy.
Get me on the couch and put it on Red Zone. Come on.
Yeah. Dolphins, Pats. Next one.
I mean, they're Mac Jones, rookie quarterback.
Yeah. New England's favored.
Yeah, I would think as much too. I would go New England. It's
Yeah.
hard to go against New England.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take New England as well. Broncos, Giants.
Is
Denver's
Saquon
favorite
playing
here,
week
but this is
one?
in New York. Yes. I think, they've been saying that he's going to be out there, and I think he'll get, 80% of the snaps, I think.
Okay, then I'd go Giants.
I think I'm going to take Denver.
Yeah, how so? Why?
Teddy Bridgewater's in there now, and I think their wide receivers, I like KJ Hamler a lot. I like Jerry Jeudy. Sutton, I don't think he's going to be back to the same form right away, but I think he'll be good enough. And no offense, I kind of like that roster. And I think maybe they were just missing a mediocre quarterback. And I just really don't like the Giants. Kenny Galladay is not going to be playing. And I don't know. We'll see. Packers at Saints.
Pack. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Pack for sure. -4. I would also take that line. I think they should blow out New Orleans, honestly. Bears at Rams then is the Sunday night game.
I mean, how do we not go Bears, man?
I know.
Go Bears. Andy Dalton's going to lead the way. He's going to have 2 touchdowns before halftime, make it 3 total. Montgomery's going to have a rushing touchdown. It's going to be a high scoring affair. Bears defense is going to look not great, but their offense is going to look no, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen.
I was going to say the opposite.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Bears beat today said that they think Montgomery might go for 1,400 yards this year. I don't know about that, but I think if the Bears defense shows up, I think this will be a lot closer than the spread saying -7.5. I think the Bears D always comes out week 1 hot, don't they? So I'm going Bears. Let's do it.
Let's do it. How could we not?
Right. Monday night, Ravens at Raiders. Baltimore favored in this one.
Yeah.
They
got Gus and
it's tough, but I think
I'm going Vegas,
Baltimore.
Man.
Yeah.
It's going to be their first official year in that new stadium.
Yeah.
I think Josh Jacobs, he's on my team because I think he's going to rise to the top, the cream of the crop rises to the top. Randy Savage. Take notes.
All right. That's it. That's the, week 1 preview. Heard it here first.
Yep. If you're going to make any bets and you win based off our information, we would like a cut. So please go ahead and just DM us if you take our picks, and we should do a pick 'em maybe. We'll think about that going forward. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Football is here. We got a couple drafts under our belt. We got week 1 coming already for Thursday. It's Tuesday here. We're recording. And I can't wait. I mean, it's back. It's officially back. It's back to how we remember it. And I am excited to see how these players are going to play. I'm excited for the Bears season, of course.
Right.
And all the new kind of storylines we'll see this year.
Yeah, same. Jacked and juiced. Let's go. Week 1.
Jacked and juice. All right, man. This has been a lot of fun. Episode 29.
That sounds right. Let's do it. All right, man. I'll see you later.
All right. Thanks for listening. Peace.